What's up guys, Paul from Sklar Fit. I'm here at my fitness studio in Charlotte, North Carolina, where my Tonals lived for the last 3 years. Now most of you know that I did my first review on Tonal back in May of 2021. It's now 3 years later. Does Tonal stand the test of time? Is it still worth it? Today, I'm gonna go over that and more. Now a lot of you may be wondering, what is Tonal? What is this machine that I have on the wall behind me? Tonal is an advanced cable training system. It basically takes the place of dumbbells, barbells, bands, anything that you could possibly use for exercise, and combines it into one single unit. Now, when I did my first review on this 3 years ago, almost everything that I had to say about it was positive. It was brand new to me, it was exciting, I hadn't been on a piece of equipment quite like this before. Now, 3 years later, is it still the same? Is it still worth it? Are there changes that have been made to the machine? Are there aspects of it that I don't like anymore? Let's delve into that right now. Let's get into the details and see if it really is still worth it today. All right, what comes with your Tonal? What do you get right out of the box? Let's start with the attachments. It comes with 2 cable handles. Each handle has a safety button that turns the weight on and turns the weight off. It also comes with a barbell, and the barbell comes with a clip-on safety that you can put anywhere you want on the barbell within thumb's reach, so you can press it, turn the weight on and off. And finally, it comes with a standard rope attachment. Now, besides the attachments and the unit itself, it also comes with a flat bench. Now, while I'm down here, if you take a look here, you see that there is an outlet. Now, you have a couple of options with this. You can get this wired underneath so that the outlet is directly underneath the unit and you won't see this wire. Unfortunately, based on the dimensions of my wall and the way that the studs were aligned at my studio, they're steel studs rather than wood studs, there was nowhere to actually anchor this outlet. So I just wanted to let you know that you can make this look a lot cleaner. Mine just happens to have the cord to the side, and that's just the way that the electrical worked out. And before I forget, it also comes with a mat and a foam roller. All right, I want to quickly go over some of the basics. I want to show you how the home screen works. So let's bring the camera in a little bit closer and let me show you what it looks like. So this is your main screen. There are 3 tabs on the main screen. You can see that it's just like using an iPhone or an Android. You can scroll through everything. There are tons and tons of workouts and workout programs. You have your trainers. So depending on your goals, you can pick a trainer that best suits your needs. So this is your home screen. You can now move to the Explore section where you can take a look at workouts, programs, coaches, Tonal 101. You'll see they've got the most popular section, strength, high intensity yoga. There's just a ton of programs to choose from. And finally, the custom page. And this is my favorite page, and it's also the page that I use the most. So on this page, you have programs that you can make yourself, workouts that you can design yourself, and they're all logged in here and saved for whenever you want to use them. Then we have the custom by Tonal section, and I'm going to get into that in a second. So on the custom page, you have your entire movement library. So if I click on all movements, it's going to give me a gigantic library of exercises. So I can scroll through this all day long. You can see it is a very detailed list. You also have the ability to put in your own exercises. You can put in a barbell exercise, you can put in a handle exercise, you can also put in a rope exercise. You can also choose your exercises by muscle group, so you see back, shoulders, triceps, chest, etc. It also shows you what muscle groups are working during each exercise. You also have the ability to search for a movement. So if you can't find your movement in here, you can search for it and it should populate. And again, if it doesn't, that means that it's not in there and you can customize it yourself. This is the custom by Tonal section, and you can see there are a lot of custom by Tonals. 77 more, so we'll click on that and you can see you have customized workouts. You can do it by coach, primary goal, training goal, duration. There's a whole bunch of different criteria that you can use to pick the best program for you. Now, I am invested so deeply in Tonal that I decided to come up with my own custom by Tonal program, and that is going to be released towards the end of this month. So it's exciting. A lot of you have asked, well, if you like this machine so much, how come you haven't done any programs on it? Why is your picture not on the machine? Well, guess what? It is going to be now. So look for my personal custom by Tonal program towards the end of this month. You'll see my picture along with all of the other guests who have made special custom by Tonal programs. Okay, I want to quickly show you how to set up the machine with the handles and the bar and the rope, and then I'm going to show you the difference between digital weight and regular weight. And I guarantee you, you are going to be blown away how difficult digital weight actually is. All right, everything's real simple to use. So you can see it's sleek and compact. Here are the cable arms. They snap out. Then we have an adjustment to raise them up, and you can put them at any level you want. Then there is a button here that we press, and we can move it horizontally. Lastly, lever on the side, and this is how easy it is to use. You just pull that, and you can slide it down, and you can see with very little effort, I can slide it back up. So let's adjust it quickly, and let me show you how you put the T-hooks in. So this is a handle, this is a T-hook. As simple as can be, goes right in, you twist, and you're done. All right, let's get the other handle hooked in. Let's take our arms, bring them all the way down to the bottom, simple, and we're ready to go. Biceps curl. So I'm gonna just hit my biceps filter. Here's my standard biceps curl. Now, this is my favorite part about Tonal, the dynamic modes. We've got 3 dynamic modes: Smart Flex, eccentric, chains. There's also a spotter mode and a burnout mode. My personal favorite is the eccentric mode. Why is it my favorite? Because in traditional lifting, the strongest part of your lift occurs during the eccentric phase, which is the phase where your muscle is stretching and contracting at the same time. Your slightly weaker position during that phase is the concentric phase, when you are shortening the muscle and putting it under tension. So if I'm using a regular dumbbell, I can't change the weight on the way down, and I can't change the weight on the way up. Tonal changes everything for me. So on the concentric phase, where I can lift less weight, it lightens the weight for me. And then I can choose how much weight I want to add to the eccentric phase. So if I want to add 20 pounds on the way down, I can, and then it'll adjust right back to my regular weight for the concentric phase. So I get much more work, I get more muscle fiber recruitment, and the end result is better. Now, if you're lifting alone at home, you have spotter mode, and the spotter mode will make sure that you get through every single exercise with no problem. It easily adjusts the weight as you get to your peak contraction and you can't move anymore. It slowly eases down on the weight and allows you to finish each rep. Smart Flex is probably the craziest mode. For me, on the lat pull down, when I put it on Smart Flex mode, it is absolutely insane. The resistance occurs after 2 reps, so the machine senses where your strengths and your weaknesses are, and then it makes adjustments after that. So on rep number 3, all of a sudden, the weight gets significantly heavier on the eccentric and the concentric phase. So both phases get harder. During the lat pull, it almost lifts me off of the seat. That's how hard I have to pull, and that's one of the big differences between digital weight and regular weight. And then you have chains phase. So you've seen people lifting, doing bench press with chains on the side. This does the same exact thing. So the weight increases at a certain point and then decreases as you get to the top portion of your press. So all of these modes make Tonal that much different than any other cable machine or free weights. So we're gonna start with a regular biceps curl. I'm gonna put it on eccentric phase so I can show you how it changes the weight during the eccentric portion of the lift, and then I'm gonna show you the difference between lifting the same weight with dumbbells. All right, so let's get eccentric phase set up. So I click on eccentric, I click my button to start lifting. Now if you take a look down here, this is the amount of eccentric weight that I have. So if I wanna increase the amount of eccentric weight, I just slowly move the button. You can see that it changes the amount of the regular weight as well and makes adjustments for that difference in eccentric weight. So if I want to start this heavier, I can then start myself at 35 pounds. So right now, after I boosted it up to 35 pounds for my starting weight, it's increased the eccentric weight to 21 pounds. There's no chance on this planet that I'm going to be able to lift that. I can guarantee you that. So I'm going to take the eccentric weight and I'm going to decrease it. I'm going to take that down to 15 pounds. Hopefully I'll be able to do it, but of course there's always a chance with digital weight that I won't be able to do it. So I can control my weight in one of 2 ways. I can use the touch screen to turn the weight on and to turn the weight off, or as I said earlier, I can use those buttons on the handles to turn the weight on and off, and I'm going to show you that right now. So one of the benefits is that I can now pick up my handles without any weight on it. With a traditional cable station, you have to lift the weight right off the bat. This is actually great because it decreases the risk of injury pulling a heavy weight off the rack. So I can get myself in position and ready to go, take my thumb, click onto the button, and you can see on the machine it loads the weight. I'm gonna start my curl, and you can see how heavy it is on the way up. And there's the eccentric where it's loading weight. Oh man. Oh, so that is it. I can't even get that much with the weight. So you see, if I press this button, it disengages the weight. There's a brand new feature that it added. If you hold the weight in the same spot for more than 5 seconds, it'll automatically turn the weight off. So if you get stuck in the middle here and nothing's moving, the machine will automatically take the weight off after 5 seconds. So it's a great benefit and a great added benefit. All right, so now I'm going to show you the difference between 35 pounds of traditional weight versus what I just did on Tonal with 35 pounds of digital weight. So the big thing is that most people do not understand the difference between the two. They think that there's not enough tension on this machine and they're strong in the gym and they can bench press a ton of weight and they can curl a ton of weight and that it's going to be easy on the Tonal. So you just saw that it wasn't. Let's see what 35-pound weights look like when I curl them. So this is a 35-pound weight compared to what I just did. No faking involved, no swinging. I'm trying to get the same squeeze on this as I did on Tonal. And you'll see the more reps I do with this, of course, it's going to start to get tired. With Tonal, it happens right away. So even though I got 2 reps of the biceps curl, I want to show you this. Tonal tracks everything. It tracks every single rep. It shows you what your reps look like. So you see on this, my rep was completely broken when I got stuck. A normal rep on this, where you know you've gotten a good rep, is a nice smooth wave. Full range of motion is also tracked on this. So you'll see if you've got full range of motion during the exercise or not. So for those of you who do little tiny reps, it's going to show on this and the machine's going to tell you your reps are too shallow, you need to fix it. It also shows you 80% of your max. So I'm looking at this when I'm curling or doing any other exercise and I'm trying to see, am I close to 80% of my max? Am I dipping below? Once I dip too far below, I know that I'm most likely done with the exercise. If I stay way above my peak of 80%, the next set, Tonal is going to adjust the weight up for me. If I stay way below and I start to really fall off, it's going to decrease the weight. And for me, as a competitive person, when I see this machine decrease my weight for the next set, I know that I need to work harder, and it motivates me to work even harder for the next set and going forward. I'm not a technology guy, but when I got on this machine and realized the type of feedback that I could actually get from it, it motivated me even more. And I'm a self-motivated person. But when I'm looking at a screen and I'm seeing that I only can lift 50% of my max versus lifting 100% of my max, it makes me want to try harder. One more added feature that is pretty neat, and I've used this a bunch of times. If you want to make sure that your form is perfect, they have a brand new Smart View. So you pair it with your smartphone, you put your smartphone on the side, it mirrors it right onto the screen, and you can see exactly what you look like from the side view. So if I'm doing a biceps curl and I'm swinging back like this, not only will I be able to see it on Tonal, Tonal will tell me that I need to make adjustments to fix my form. So you're probably wondering how Tonal figures out all of your weights. You actually start with a strength assessment. And once you go through the strength assessment, Tonal saves all of those metrics on the machine. So the next time you come back, all of your weights are already in there. Tonal knows exactly how to adjust it. It knows how to either increase the weight or decrease the weight. You don't have to worry about anything. And for a guy like me, who programs daily and is constantly counting reps for clients, counting reps for myself, this takes the guesswork out for me, as opposed to me taking the guesswork out for everybody else, which is what I do on a regular basis. When I get on this, I don't have to think because Tonal thinks for me, which is great for someone like me who needs to allow my brain to rest a little bit and take a little bit of a break. Final thoughts on Tonal. Is it still worth it? Has it withstood the test of time? Now, I've had my Tonal for 4 years, and I've been partnered with Tonal for 4 years. This machine has never broken in 4 years, and I took it from my home and brought it into my studio 3 years ago because I wanted to share it with my clients. So not only have I been using it, but my clients and my trainers have been using it as well. So not one single issue in 4 years of having this product. So yes, it has withstood the test of time. No breakdowns. I don't even know what customer support's like because I haven't had to call customer support. Okay, so let's talk about cost. How much does the unit cost, and is it worth it? The unit itself is $3,995. Like I said before, I've purchased more machines that are more costly and don't do the same job as the Tonal. So as far as a unit goes, from someone that's purchased gym equipment, it is worth it, and it is certainly at a good price point. Now, with the purchase of the unit comes a subscription, and that subscription is $59.99 a month plus tax. So there is that fee involved. Now, you can cancel your subscription after a year, but you will lose functionality of the machine. It'll still work as a cable station, but you will lose a bunch of things like personalization. You won't get personalized weight suggestions. You'll lose the dynamic weight modes and other progress tracking. You'll lose the workout library, so you won't have access to the workout library, expert coaching, movement demos, guided workouts. All of that is gone without the subscription. You will also lose your historical data about all of your workouts, and that's a big thing. You don't want to lose all of that data, because once you have it, that's something you want to keep and you want to look back at to see how you've done and how you can make progress. So you lose all of that, and you will not be able to record any new data. What you will still be able to have are basic tonal features, which are weight dial, or the use of the weight dial, the ability to increase and decrease the weight, and it offers a free lift mode that includes all of the features of basic lift plus access to video demonstrations. So the membership, the subscription, it's worth it. It certainly is. I mean, you can actually compare it to a gym membership. If you're just going to use this, are you going to spend $59 a month on a gym membership? Are you going to spend $59 a month to stay at your house? Because this is designed for the home. I just happen to have it in my studio, again, because I wanted other people to experience it. Now, is there anything about Tonal that I don't like? And I really didn't have to think that hard about it. I like just about everything. Actually, I do. I like everything about Tonal, except for one thing that I think they could make an improvement upon. I told you earlier, the Tonal comes with a flat bench. I wish that it came with an adjustable bench. Just because of the types of workouts that I do, I like to be a little bit more creative. It would be nice to have an adjustable bench. But that's about it. Everything else that Tonal has, I love. And like I said before, I wouldn't be with this company 4 years later if I didn't believe in it and it didn't work. What I tell people as far as cost, if you have the money to spend, get one. If you're not going to eat your next meal or you can't pay your rent, don't buy it. You got to live. You can do other things. But for someone who has the money to purchase it, and I know they have installment plans where you can pay about 80 or 85 bucks a month over a 48-month period, but for someone who has the money or the ability to generate money to purchase something like this, it is well worth it. And that's what I tell people when they ask me, is it worth it? I say, yeah, it's definitely worth it if you can afford it. And not everybody can afford it, but it is certainly well worth it. Now, when I first learned about Tonal more than 4 years ago, I was very skeptical about it. And I know probably a lot of you are skeptical about it. I'm always skeptical about workout equipment because new things are coming out constantly. A lot of them are good, a lot of them are junk. I'm not a technology guy. I'm a pretty basic guy when it comes to lifting. But when I actually got on this, and I remember the first time I got on, and I was in my living room, and my kids were watching me, and I did just a high cable fly. And when I got on it, I thought to myself, holy, you know what? That was phenomenal. I didn't expect it. And then when I looked at all of the interaction, I looked at all of the feedback, I thought, this is great. I mean, I can't do this on my own without having to think about everything. This thing's going to think for me. I'm going to get all of this information. So I went from skeptic to fan very, very quickly. Most likely, I think if you get on this, and I tell people, the only way to actually experience what this machine feels like is to get on it. And I know they have them at certain locations across the country. I don't know if it's across the world, but I understand they are at certain Nordstroms. So go to their site. I'll have them linked in the description. Find out if you have a place near you where you can actually get on it and try it. I don't like people actually purchasing something if they can't try it. Get on it, try it. If you don't like it, throw it away. If you do like it, you know exactly what to do. I hope I've given you some insight into this machine. Please subscribe to my channel, and I will see you the next time.